initiative is focusing on lifting women's rights in several areas in the world, fighting the gender-based violence that women are facing in their daily lives, and therefore excluding their access to decision making, to access to contributing to the economic growth of countries, and also keeping them out of the social life and fulfilling their full potential.
Okay.
So the European Union finally decided that now this time we need to attempt to improve the situation for millions of women in our partner countries. Obviously, the European Union is not without problems ourselves, so we know how to address a number of issues in women's empowerment. The European Union at the global level has €500 million put on this program. The length of the program is only 4 years, and therefore we cannot change cultures in 4 years, but we believe that we can set in motion a new development of culture where women are seen as important contributors, part of the society, and also teachers in many respects.
Okay.
And so I leave it to the operators of the Spotlight in Liberia to tell what exactly we're doing. But the idea is to give women their full potential and self-governance of their futures in order to contribute to entire populations and cultures. Thank you.
Okay, so let's hear from the coordinator of the Spotlight Initiative Liberia, Melita Tornick. Melita, is there any way that you could add to what Mr. Yuki just said to us?
Yes, thank you. Spotlight Initiative is a global initiative across 5 continents.
Okay.
And we are really working as partners, European Union and United Nations, across different issues which prevent countries from development. And one of them is to accelerate implementation of the Sustainable Development Goal number 5,
Okay.
which is gender equality. So Spotlight has twofold goal. One is acceleration of SDG 5, and another one is UN reform, like how UN works with the government and civil society across continents.
Okay.
So across 5 continents, we have different teams which prevent countries from development. For example, in Asia, it is trafficking in human beings. In Africa, is elimination of harmful practices. In Latin America, it is femicide. So it is very powerful program which helps countries address the issues which prevent them from development.
Okay.
In Liberia, I have to say that Spotlight Initiative is really comprehensive and holistic approach to this problem. And in Liberia, we worked across 6 pillars. Six pillars. We work with civil society. We work with the citizens to change norms and behaviors. We worked with justice and security institutions to secure that justice is available to survivors. We work to collect data and support the government to actually make decisions which are based on evidence. You know that what you cannot measure, you cannot change. So we support the government to do that. We also work with health sector to support them, provide services to survivors of violence, either rape or harmful practices. And we work with institutions to enable them to change the laws as well and to put them into practice. This is in brief.
Okay. Now, but since you've been working with those institutions, what's the success story so far that you've gathered?
Yes, I can tell you like about like programmatic successes, about numbers. We have recently produced very nice newsletter which captures our results and beneficiaries from 2019, when the program has started, until 2021. And we hope that next year we'll be able to produce more statistics. But for me personally, the biggest result is if you have a girl aged 14 or 15 who was raped or who was violated, that she was provided with a support, with psychological support, with health support, that her family was supported, that the police provided services, that justice sector has been able to capture the perpetrator, and that this person is able to recover from this trauma and to lead dignified life. So this would be like the major success.
Okay.
And on another level, we can talk also about our work with civil society, who is engaged and as to advocate and advisor to the UN. And on the third level, we can say the result is like the new way, the innovative way the UN is working and cooperating
Okay.
at this moment. How are we doing things? How efficient we are? How effective we are?
Okay, let's hear from Simona. Is that the name, right?
Yes.
Now, you are responsible for communication, gender, communicating those sort of issues, especially issues that have to do with gender, gender-based violence and all of that, bringing that to the fore of your institution. How has it been with you? How have you been gathering your contents? Where and how have you been gathering them?
I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not responsible for communication within the Spotlight Initiative. I'm
Okay.
responsible for communication at the EU
You,
level.
yes, surely.
Yes. So in this context, I'm just the program manager,
Okay.
working closely with Melissa, with Tamba. I'm not the one doing the communication for Spotlight per se.
Yes, but in terms when you're working with those people who are doing the spotlight, I'm sure you also link it or inform the EU concerning. So how are you doing so?
We're trying to capture success stories, try to bring the people in the field or on the spotlight closer to our audience in Europe, but also tell stories that resonate with the Liberian
So
population.
where do you get the stories from?
From the people that we meet, from the field, from the
Okay.
work that Tamba is doing, that
Okay.
our other agents on the field are doing.
Do you validate? Do you verify some of the information that Tama and others gave you regarding people who've been maybe abused before you take it to the EU?
I don't verify personally. I believe
Okay.
we have a complex. It's not that we have it. There's a complex referral pathway.
Okay.
It's a complex system that has been set up thanks to Spotlight. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tamba. But yes, cases are verified
They are verified.
before they are.
Okay, let's hear from Tamba. Tamba is based short here. Tamba, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, so George, and thank you for having us in this studio.
How
and-
are you involved with this whole spotlight thing?
Oh, we got involved in the Spotlight Initiative since 2017 when we started writing the proposals, and we came into being 2018. The Spotlight actually started. The Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency Joy Howard Taylor, launched the Spotlight Initiative in Grand Cape County in 2018. And since the launch of this Spotlight Initiative, as many have said, we work on 6 thematic areas. The first pillar has to do with law and policies, and the law and policy is actually headed by the OHCHR. We deal with, and the law and policy is to look at laws that are discriminatory, laws that are that needs to be refined, laws that needs to be repealed in order to bring about the holisticness and the involvement of everybody, leaving no one behind. Because on the Spotlight Initiative, there is something called Leave No One Behind. It includes everyone, irrespective of your orientation, your gender orientation, your sexual orientation, and everything. Everyone should be on board because everyone is human and everyone should have access to it. And on the pillar 2, we talk about institutional strengthening. And institutional strengthening is actually deal with UNDP. UNDP strengthen the government arms in order for them to respond robustly to that of sexual, gender, behavior, and other issues, like the Ministry of Justice and other institutions. They are strengthening under the UNDP, that is institutional strengthening. On the pillar 3, we talk about the prevention is actually headed by UN Women. And pillar 4, we talk about data, as you said, we talk about response, we talk about the issue of civil society on pillar 6, civil society, where civil society are supported on pillar 6, and that is being headed by the UN Women. It's where we come from. Our work on the Spotlight Initiative globally, the Spotlight Initiative has a team of civil society that are diverse from different backgrounds with expertise in human rights and other areas.
Okay.
These people are being recruited in Liberia and globally in order to serve as advisors to the Spotlight Initiative. One, to monitor the activities of the implementation of the IPs, which is the implementing parties, to ensure that monies that are brought into the country by the Spotlight Initiative are zeroed down into thematic areas and they are being used by IPs and other areas. So we are there to monitor all of these things. We are also there to monitor the robust and the response system of the government when it comes to providing services, such as maybe the one-stop center. Because when someone is violated or undergoes sexual gender-based violence, they should have the referral pathway, and those things we track it to find out whether they have medication, whether they have other things, security, how robust are the tutorial system when it comes to litigating cases and everything. So that is our role, to provide all those things. So how are we been contributing to this?
They're carrying out the rules.
Our roles is that we carry on monitoring authorities, we attend meetings, we validate. In the validation, we have questionnaires we develop, we go on the field, because we have strategic institutions we meet with. If we say we are going to look at laws and policy, we look at UN OSCE that deals with laws and policy. So which institution have you incapacitated? Which institution have you trained? How robust are those institutions when it comes to litigating cases and counter responses? So we go to this institution and verify. The verification is done through questionnaires, because that is the monitoring tool we developed. And from there, you analyze and get to know whether those things are being done. And everything we respond, because it's our role, we tell them, say, look, this area needs to be robust. They look at the area needs to be robust, and responded to in other things. And this is how we have been. We go on the field, we monitor, and we also carry on advocacy. I think you have heard this name time over and over in the studio and all. We robustly on advocate where there are issues, we come above it, and where there